Our guest today is Marice Young of Essex, and she's kindly consented to come down here and just let us dig right into her life. Now, when you were young, did you live on a farm or in town?
Lived in the country.
In the country.
About 3.5 miles east of Essex.
Good. And your father was
A farmer
Mhm.
and a trucker, and he did combining, and not combining, but thrashing. Thrashing
sure.
machine and a corn sheller, and he was busy.
Well, farmers are always busy,
That's
aren't they? Okay, and did you go to school in the country?
I went to country school.
Country school. What did you take there? What were your favorite subjects?
Oh, I think spelling was my favorite subject.
Really good. That wasn't mine. But,
And arithmetic, I liked that too.
well, I did. And when we're talking now about the 30s, what do you remember about the clothes at that time? Clothes you wore and your schoolmates and
Yes.
everything.
Wore long stockings, and when you went to school, you wore underwear and long underwear, and I know when I was smaller, I always wore an apron over my dress when I went to school.
Oh, really?
I guess to keep my dress clean, so I could wear it for several days anyway.
And what was the name of the school that you went to?
Rose Hill.
Rose Hill School.
Rose Hill District number 9.
Okay. There were no school buses at that time.
No, we walked.
You walked
Walked to school.
How far was it?
Oh, just about 3/4 of a mile.
Oh, not too bad, except
No,
in the winter, I'm
no,
sure.
That's right.
And when we were talking about clothing there a minute ago, did your mother always wear a dress?
Oh, yes.
I mean, women were
It
wearing
always wore-
overalls or
we didn't
anything
know
like
about
that
that.
about that time. Was there kind of a schedule where you would get new clothes? I mean, like September or something, or did you just get new clothes when you needed them?
I think I got new clothes when school started,
Well,
and probably for Christmas.
well, yeah, I probably did too. I didn't enjoy the Christmas one. I wanted something else. Now, when you were going to school, did you play games?
Yes, we played a game we called Andy Over, or is it a Handy
Oh,
Over?
yeah,
Over
sure,
the
I did
schoolhouse,
too.
Yes.
Yes.
And we played some games running around the schoolhouse, and I don't remember that, because we had more boys than girls.
I see.
If we were lucky, if I was lucky, would be 2 girls, and then maybe 6 or 7 boys. So.
Oh, boy. Did you have brothers? By the
I
way?
had 2 brothers.
2 brothers. Okay. And now, how about the weather back then?
Oh,
Better or worse?
I can't remember storms like we have now. I can't remember. Well, we had them. I do remember some, but I don't think as bad as what the storms are now.
Not the windstorms and the
No,
tornadoes
I
and
don't
that
think
sort of
so.
thing.
I don't think so.
In winter, though?
It was cold, lots of snow.
Lots of snow?
Yes, we had, the one winter we had a lot of snow, so I had to stay in Essex at my grandparents' when I was going to high school.
Oh.
Because I couldn't go back and forth, and weekends, why, somebody would take me out to the Russell Quarter, which we call,
Yeah.
and would meet me there with a sleigh and horses to take me
To
home.
take you home.
They had to cut the fences to go in the farmers' fields, to get past that,
Oh,
so.
because you couldn't use the
This-
roads at all?
No, because the roads weren't, they weren't raised up then, so.
And when was it, what year was that, you remember?
About 36, I think,
Uh-huh.
1936,
Uh-huh. Well, I noticed that the gentleman I had the other day, he said 34 and 36.
Well, it could have been. I don't remember just exactly those years.
Well, I asked him about the heat and the cold, and I think he answered it was hot in 36 or 34 and cold in 36. I noticed that he said the same thing. Deep snow in 1936.
Oh, yes, very deep.
And so that was done by Farragut. Now, when the whole rest of the country was suffering from a depression, or as they call it now, a recession, did that influence your life at all?
Well, I just
Did you
think,
realize what was going on in the rest of the country?
yes, I did. I just can remember, I remember one incident when we met a neighbor lady. We were downtown, and my mother was talking to the neighbor lady, and she said she just didn't have any money. I've got enough to buy a package of gum. And they were just, they felt it and were very careful with their money.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
A little easier though, if you lived on a farm, at least.
Yes, we had
you
our
had food.
We had our eggs and our meat and cream and milk.
And a garden, I'll bet.
Oh, and butter, churning
And
butter.
Well, that sounds exactly
That's a job we
right.
didn't like.
Well, my grandmother used to let me churn.
Oh, that
Make
was
me
nice,
churn.
wasn't it?
But as far as the nationwide recession, it didn't.
I don't think so much. I
It
mean,
didn't.
we were in the country, we didn't know as much about what was going on.
I know.
That's
And
right.
that makes sense.
Now you know what's going on
Well,
anyplace.
you've got the radio and the television and the newspapers, and,
Yes, that's
and
right.
even if it isn't hitting you right here. But, so, since you lived in the country, then there was a little different, I'm sure, than it was even in Essex. I know that they mentioned that some of the people took in boarders to try to give
To
them
help out.
But I'm sure that didn't happen in the country.
No, it didn't.
Do you have a hired man there?
Oh, we had a hired man, yes, some of the time anyway.
Uh-huh.
My father was sick in the last few years
Oh,
before
dear.
1940 and had a
Uh-huh.
stroke, so we had to have a hired
I
hand
see.
then too.
Did he didn't live with
No.
you? He just came in.
No, yes. Oh, no, he lived with us.
He lived?
Oh,
there
yeah,
did
he
live
lived with
you.
us.
I see.
Mhm.
Okay.
They had no other place to go.
Well, they, let's talk about Christmas. You mentioned Christmas. You got clothing for Christmas.
I'm sure that's what was a lot of it anyway. We'd probably get some games too, but clothing was a big thing, I'm sure.
Did you get an orange?
Always at the Sunday school programs. We got our orange and a
That's
sack
what
of
I
candy.
remember. The same thing, is that when we went to church on Christmas.
That's right.
We got an orange.
Mhm, that's right.
And as I remember, I got a couple of oranges and a cat pistol.
Oh, my.
That was all I got that Christmas. Did you get clothing too?
Oh, yes, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's,
And just from, most of this was from your family, I
yes,
suppose.
that's right.
And,
Some of the close relatives, I guess, too, so.
Uh-huh.
mhm.
uh-huh. And what about your birthday? Did you celebrate birthday?
Oh, yes, they were important.
Had cake?
Always cake, that's right.
Have a party?
Oh, yes, I had parties some of the time.
Uh-huh.
I can remember, I think it's probably my 10th birthday. I really remember that. Just
Yeah.
some things that stand out, you know, in a birthday.
You had a real party that time.
Yes, that's right.
And did your family get together, like on Sundays or weekends or anything like that?
Sunday
differently?
afternoons were a time to go visit. This is when we would
You
go,
went
we
and,
went and visited, we had company, you
and
know.
people
they
came to
would
your house.
call and say, are you gonna be home, or we'd have company.
Uh-huh.
That was a time for visiting, it seems like.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
You weren't working.
No.
And, did you have a phone?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, as long as you remember.
Always had a phone as long as I remember.
Yeah, I can't remember when we got one, but I remember that there was times when we didn't have one earlier than that, yes.
Of course, we had the party phone, you know, where
Oh, sure.
everybody was on there.
Everybody, You had one ring or two rings?
Yes, that's right. I remember I was number 8, and it was a long and 3 shorts.
A long and 3 shorts.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that something?
So,
That back kind of to the 30s, did there anything kind of move into your life or anything back in the 1930s that really made an impression on you that you thought a lot about and still do?
well, I think so. I can't remember right offhand. I mean, what it was then, but I just remember our mud roads and in the summertime, for play, I had no girls in our neighborhood, so there was always boys. So that's the one time I had a pair of bib overalls, and I could wear them then when they come in. And
When all the boys were
about
there.
6 boys and myself. I don't remember what we played. We rode a pony a lot. We had ponies, and a lot of pictures of about trying to get about 6 on a pony, and they're little. They're your little Shetland ponies, and
Not very much room on
this
that.
was, I think, a lot of the fun time anyway. Yeah, so we always had a pony, which was great.
Did you have parties and things like that in the school for graduation or anything?
Yes, and you know, when I graduated in '39, our graduation was where the can't think of it, but it used to be a church, and then it was opera house, and now it's the Legion Club in Essex.
Oh,
And that's where we had our graduation
is
services.
in that, yes. I've been in
And
that
also
building.
junior play and the senior plays were there in that opera house, because we didn't have a gym back then.
Sure.
And when I was in high school, that's when our Essex band started with Elmer Straub.
Oh, yes.
He
remember
started our
that.
band when I was a junior, I believe. And I think we had about 100 that came out. I've got a picture of it with me.
Is that right?
And there's a picture of us all on the school steps anyway.
What did you play?
I played the clarinet.
Clarinet.
Mhm.
And Mr. Strom was your
Yeah, he was
your teacher.
he was the man that started it.
Well,
So our band got to, in later years, got to go to Canada on a trip, I remember. I mean, this is later on, though. But
you were in high school?
no,
at that
no,
time?
this is later on, so
I see.
that's when my sons were there.
And see, and you said you graduated from high school in
39.
39.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should remember that. I was a year ahead of you. How about the other things?
How about electricity?
Good idea. Tell me about that.
Oh, we had lamps. We had to wash those lamp chimneys every morning, you know, and have them bright for the evening.
Trim the,
Yes.
whatever they call it, wick.
Yes, that's right. We had gas lamp then. And then, well, it was probably in 38, 37 that my dad got a wind charger. You know these chargers that they have now that are so important?
Yes.
We had one that's about the same size as the one that they have out there showing, you know, where they're working with them.
Oh, is that right? They're big.
It was
They were made in Clarinda, weren't they? Or do you remember?
well, I know they were, I think ours come from Winterset, Iowa.
Winterset. Mhm.
And we had, I don't know how many batteries, but probably 8, 9, 10 batteries.
Oh,
And that wind charger,
Strung together.
yes, and that kept, so we had we were very proud. We had electricity in the country there for a while when nobody else did.
They weren't running out the lines to you from
No,
town.
not for that. It's a tall wind charger.
Great big one. I'll be darned.
So, and they, like I say, they look like these new ones they're putting up for our,
Oh, well, that's big. I remember some around my hometown, but they weren't anything like that, as big as that. But, well, you really had something.
we had some electricity anyway. I think of these things, and I drove a Model A car, a Model A Ford, to school, and it was pretty rickety one. I know the last year I had a little neighbor girl that rode with me, and sometimes she'd have to hold onto the door to keep it keep it shut. And it had to choke it, you know, and she'd have to do the choking while I don't remember everything about that Ford, but anyway, we had a fun time. No.
Didn't have to crank it.
No.
It had a self-starter.
It had a
Oh,
self-starter.
boy, that was right uptown then.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what else can you think about
Oh,
that
I don't
impressed
know.
you?
I don't know. A lot of things
Well,
probably.
you've made some notes there.
I made some notes here,
Tell us
but
about it.
I can't think of what we started. I know our neighbor lady started a 4-H, 4-H club. And so that was nice. That was, I guess, the first in Pierce Township anyway.
Was it boys and girls?
No, just girls.
Just girls.
I suppose it was about 10 girls, and I know we braided rugs. That was one of our things. We learned to
Really?
braid rugs.
Braid rugs.
I don't remember what other things we did, but anyway,
Did you have a radio?
yes, yeah, we had a
Battery radio.
Mhm. We had a radio.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, can you think of anything else we'll talk
Oh,
about?
I will after we're through, probably.
Of course! That's the way we...
Yeah, that's right. And you didn't have indoor plumbing then.
Of course.
That was different too,
Of course.
till I think in about 38, why then we did have, so that was a big deal when that happened.
I think that was earlier than I had it, to tell you the truth,
Uh-huh.
except in school, of course.
Yeah.
But, then, did you go to school someplace else after you graduated from
No,
high school?
I didn't go anyplace else. I just started out, thought I want to give piano lessons. I always enjoyed piano work and all, and in fact, I used to play for all the things in high school when I was a sophomore on, like for the Boys Glee Club and the Girls Glee
Oh, for goodness
chorus
sake.
and the solos and everything that went on. Then I would be the accompanist for them. So I kept up with my piano, and then I went around in the country and gave piano lessons, 25 cents a lesson.
That was after you
I
got
don't know
out
if
of
that
school?
paid for the gas even.
And that's Model A?
No, I had a better car
You
than
had a
I
better
had.
car
I
than
drove
you
my
were.
folks' car.
Oh, well, that's good. And,
That's right.
and did you take your lessons in town?
No, I took from a neighbor at first, and a
You had
neighbor,
piano at your house?
and then I took the lessons from Alta Topham.
Oh, I know, I
That's
knew
what I
Alta,
mean,
yes.
in a lot of her recitals, and
Oh, yeah,
Uh-huh.
of course.
yeah. And when I was in country school, I played the pump organ then for all of our music things, and I had a ukulele I would play for some of our Christmas programs.
Hey,
But
that kept you busy.
I always enjoyed that, I guess so, and I still do.
Still play the ukulele?
No, I need some new strings in that, but I
You still
play
got
the,
it, though.
yes, I play the organ, and I'm still organist at our church, so keeping busy, keeping
Well,
my mind busy anyway.
Well, it sounds like you are busy and that mind, yes, it works.
Yeah, it helps, I think, to keep going.
You know, that's of course, if you sit down and look at the walls,
That's not very good,
you're
is
going
it?
to go downhill fast.
Yeah, that's right. As long as you can keep
Well-
going, why you want to do that.
I thank you very much more. It's been interesting, and of course, at my age, so many things that you say just ring a
Rings a
bell
bell.
with me. That's right. We were in
That's-
school at different places, but at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate
welcome.
this.
Thank you.
And you got everything you need? Good.
You know, one question, if I can continue.
Sure.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
What do you remember of businesses on Main Street in Essex during the 30s?
Oh, I just remember they used to have Market Day before they had, Labor Day and all this. I think that was in March or something. I remember used to have, and I can't remember, but I'm sure they had the free movies in on Main Street, on Saturday nights. And
Were they outdoors or
outdoors?
inside?
Oh yes, we sat
Yeah,
on
we
these
did.
benches outdoors. And band concerts, they had those.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday nights, they had a band concert.
And you went to the doctor in Essex, you
Went
did
to
most of
Dr.
your shopping
Overbey.
in Essex, didn't you?
Yes, that's right,
And what were the stores?
Well, wasn't Hagen Samuelson then? Or was it something else? I can't remember the one, SAR. I think, yes, I think the SAR men's clothing place was, and we had 2 drugstores, which was wonderful. That's right.
Competitive pricing.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.